Good morning class 10. Today we will be completing the chapter Federalism. So we studied the definition of federalism in the start, that federalism is a system in which power is shared between the central and state authority. Where power is shared between the central and state authority. And who shares the power? The constitution shares the power between the different units. Okay, and we studied that India is a federal country. Why India is a federal country? Because in their constitution divides the power between the central and state government. Later on we studied that other than these 2 tiers of government, one more tier of government was added, that was local government. But in starting, the local government took its power from the state government. Like it was a wish of the state government to make a local government or to not make a local government. To give the resources to the local government or to not give the resources to the local government. In 1992, the constitution was amended. The constitution was amended to decentralize the power. Decentralize the power in India. How was the power decentralized? By giving power to the local government. That is, spreading the power to the local government. After 1992 amendment, the state, now it is mandatory for the state to make the local government to give the powers and the resources to the local government. Before it was the wish of the state government to make the local government or to not make the local government. Now after the amendment, it is mandated for the state government to make the local government as well as to give the powers to the local government and the resources to the local government. Now we will understand in deep that how the power was decentralized, how the local governments were made. That is, now we will study about the structure of the local government. Starting with the structure of rural local government. First comes Gram Sabha. What is Gram Sabha? Gram Sabha includes all the members of a village. Gram Sabha includes all the members of a village who are eligible to vote. So Gram Sabha includes all the members of the village who are eligible to vote. After Gram Sabha comes Gram Panchayat. See, a village is divided in between wards. A village is divided in wards. From each ward, a panch is chosen by the people of that ward. So, this is one different ward, this is one different ward, this is one different ward. From each of the wards, one panch is chosen. A panch is chosen from each of the wards. And who are included in these wards? Gram Sabha people. So, of these area, all the people of these area will vote for the panch of this area. Now, all the panches are chosen, and after this, the panches choose the sarpanch. The panch chooses the sarpanch of the Gram Panchayat. I hope you understand. Gram Sabha is nothing else but all the members of the village who are eligible to vote. Gram Panchayat includes all the panch, and panches chose sarpanch. Who chooses panch? The Gram Sabha chooses the panch. After this comes block or mandal. Now, different Gram Panchayats, a few Gram Panchayats, 4 Gram Panchayats combine and make a block. Now, the last level of this is Jila Panchayat. Jila Parishad. Jila Parishad includes all the blocks of a district. Jila Parishad includes Jila district. So like Dehradun is a district of Uttarakhand. So all the blocks that comes under Dehradun Jila Parishad. I hope this is clear. Gram Sabha includes all the members of the village who are eligible for Gram Panchayat. Gram Sabha chooses the members of Gram Panchayat, that is the Panch, and the Panch chooses Sarpanch. After that, a few or 2 or 3 Gram Panchayats combine and make a block. All of the blocks combine and make a Jila Parishad, that is district Parishad. This is the structure of the rural local government. Why it is called that local self-government? Because all of the people are included in the decision making. Like all of the people sit together once, twice or thrice in a year and they look over the work of the Gram Panchayat. So even the local people or the last level of the people are also included in decision making. That's why it is called local self-government or a participatory democracy. Because all of the people are made to participate in a decision making. In block mandal, who are the representatives of block mandal? The representatives are chosen by the Gram Panchayat members, the Panch and Sarpanch. These chooses the representatives in the block level, and in the Jila Parishad level, in the district level, the members are elected. And some of the MLAs of that area or MPs of that area also comes under the membership of Jila Parishad. So here we end the rural local government. Now the last topic of the chapter is urban local government. The structure of urban local government. It is very simple. There are towns that are small areas, small urban areas, and cities, that is large urban areas. So in towns there are municipalities and in cities there is municipal corporation. That's the basic difference in the urban local government. Municipalities and the municipal corporation are elected bodies, elected by the people. So the members of municipalities and municipal corporation are elected by the people. And the head of municipal corporation is the mayor. The head of municipal corporation is the mayor. That's it. Here we understood the whole structure of the rural local government as well as urban local government.
So now we will start with the NCERT questions of federalism. The first question is, locate the following states on a blank outline political map of India. Like Manipur, Sikkim, Chhattisgarh and Goa. You have to mark these states in the political map of India. Like in the chapter only you can see that the map is given with all the states. You have to practice this map. Like Sikkim is here, Manipur is here, Chhattisgarh is here, Goa is here. They can give any state in the exam. In the board exams, they can give any state, so you have to practice accordingly. The second question is, identify and shade 3 federal countries other than India on a blank outline political map of the world. In the chapter only we studied that USA, Australia, Spain and many other countries were federal countries, like Belgium also. So we have to mark these countries in the political map of the world. The third question is, point out one feature in the practice of federalism in India that is similar to and one feature that is different from that of Belgium. That is, we have to tell that what is the similarity of the federalism that is followed in India and that is followed in Belgium, as well as one difference between the federalism of India and the federalism of Belgium. What is the similarity? We can say that in both the countries, the power is shared between the union and state government. And what is the difference? India has no community government while Belgium has a community government. In the previous chapter, you must have studied what the community government is. So the next question is, what is the main difference between a federal form of government and a unitary one? Explain with an example. In the start of the chapter only, we studied that what is a federal form of government. A federal form of government is one in which power is shared between the central and state governments, and a unitary form of government is one where the power is with only the central authorities. So this is the main difference between the federal form of government and a unitary one. With an example, what is the example of federal form of government? India is an example of federal form of government. And what is an example of unitary one? Sri Lanka is an example of unitary form of government in which there is only one central authority. State any two differences between the local government before and after constitutional amendment in 1992. So in this fifth question, we have to differentiate between the before the constitutional amendment and after the constitutional amendment, that how the local governments were. So in this, we can see that it is constitutionally mandatory to hold. Now, after the amendment, it is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular elections to local government bodies. Before, it was not mandatory. It was states' wish if they want to hold the regular elections or not. Now the seats are reserved in the elected bodies. Before, no such thing was there. Even the elections were not confirmed. At least 1/3 of all positions are reserved for women. This also, it was not before. After the amendment, it was added on. An independent institution called the State Election Commission has been created in each state to conduct panchayat and municipal elections. This, before the amendment, this kind of commission was not there. After the amendment, this kind of independent institution was added to conduct the panchayat and municipal elections. So there are many differences in this only that you can study and write. Now fill in the blanks. Since the United States is we studied what kind of federalism is it? Which type of federation is United States? It's a coming together federation because many of the states came together and became a country. All the constituent states have equal powers and states are strong against the federal government. The states are stronger against the federal government. But India is a dash type of federation. India is a holding together type of federation, and some states have more power than others. In India, the central government has more powers. In India, the central government has more powers, and in the US, the states are more powerful or stronger against the federal government. Now the next question, the question number 7 is, here are 3 reactions to the language policy followed in India. What was the language policy? The language policy was that 21 languages were given official status in India and no one language had to be followed in all the states. Give an argument and example to support any of these positions. So Sangeeta is saying that the policy of accommodation has strengthened national unity. That we are accommodating so many languages. We are accommodating the linguistic feature of all the states. So this has strengthened national unity. Yes, it has strengthened national unity. Because if we would have not given them any rights to follow their own language, so they would have been very depressed and very angry with the central government. So now we have accommodate all the languages, so they are more happy with the central government or with the country as a whole. So there is more national unity. Language-based states have divided us by making everyone conscious of their language. No, in the topic also linguistic states, we studied that the language-based states have made the unity more in the country. So they are not conscious of their language. They are happy that they can follow their own language, but they also know that they are a part of India as a whole. Harish is saying this policy has only helped to consolidate the dominance of English over all other languages. It is not so. There are many other languages that have been given official status, and in many states different languages are being followed, not only English. So the next question is, the distinguishing feature of a federal government is, national government gives some powers to the provincial governments. Is it true? It's not true, because the national government doesn't have the right to give the powers or take away the powers. Power is distributed among the legislature, executive and judiciary. Does it come under the federal government thing? No, it doesn't come under the federal government. Federal government means the power is shared between different levels of government, that is central government, state government, local government. So the D point is true. A few subjects in various lists of the Indian Constitution are given here. Group them together under the union, state and concurrent list as provided in the table below. So we started the three lists, that is union list, state list and concurrent list. We have to just tell that in which list what comes. So defense comes under union list and the police comes under state list. Agriculture comes under concurrent list. Similarly, we have to tell about all of this. This is given in the book and I have told you in the video also, in the previous video also, that in which category which subject comes. So the next question, question number 10 is, examine the following pairs that give the level of government in India and the powers of the government at that level to make laws on the subjects mentioned against each. Which of the following pairs is not correctly matched? So I have told you that which list is followed by which government. Like the state government follows the state list, the subjects that are under the state list. Central government has the power over the subjects of union list, and the central and state governments together has the power over the concurrent list. Residuary powers, does local government handle the residuary powers? No, local government does not handle the residuary powers. Residuary powers are handled by union government. So this is not correctly matched. Next question is question number 11. Match list first with list second and select the correct answer using the codes given below the list. You don't have to follow the codes and everything in your board exams. This type of question will not come. You just have to match it, like match of the following. So Union of India, the Prime Minister is the head of Union of India. In the state, Governor is the head. In municipal corporation, Mayor is the head. In Gram Panchayat, the Sarpanch is the head. Consider the following two statements. In a federation, the powers of the federal and provisional governments are clearly demarcated. In a federation, that is in a federal form of government, the powers of federal and the provincial or the state governments are clearly told in the constitution. So yes, this is true. India is a federation. Yes, India is a federation because the powers of the union and state governments are specified in the constitution and they have exclusive jurisdiction on their respective subjects. So we have studied this before, that the jurisdiction is told for the state as well as the center, and the jurisdiction, like different governments have different jurisdiction and they have right over their own jurisdiction to make the laws or to take care of that particular area. So Sri Lanka is a federation because the country is divided into provinces. Sri Lanka is not a federation, it's a unitary form of government, and the country should be divided in central and state level of government, then only it will be a federation. But in Sri Lanka, there is no power division in between the level of governments. That's why Sri Lanka is only a unitary form of government and not a federation. So this statement is false. India is no longer a federation because some powers of the states have been devolved to the local government bodies. So some of the powers of the states have been given to the local government bodies. Still, much of the power is still in the hands of the states. So India has become more of a federation instead of less of a federation with the decentralization of power. So India is still a federation. Some of the powers has been given to the local government bodies, but still state and central has more powers. So the correct answer of this is C1, as A and B. A and B were the only correct statements. So this is not given in the NCERT questions, but it is a very important question and a typical one where the students can get confused, especially in the MCQs. So I will give you a brief again of this, that local rural government, Gram Sabha, as I just told you that the Gram Sabha includes all the members of the village, that is the adult population that can give the votes. Then comes the Gram Panchayat. Gram Panchayat is elected by the Gram Sabha and it includes the Panch and Sarpanch. The Sarpanch is chosen by the Panch. Gram Sabha chooses the Panch. then the block and mandal. A few of the gram panchayats combine and make a block. A few of the gram panchayats combine and make a block. So there are many blocks in a district. All of the blocks combined makes the Jila Parishad. That is, of every district there is a Jila Parishad. For example, Dehradun has a Jila Parishad, Rudraprayag has a Jila Parishad. All of the Jila Parishad includes all of the blocks. Now, who are the members of the block or mandal? The Gram Panchayat members elects the members of the block or mandal of that area, of their particular area. So in this area, whatever the Gram Panchayats are, the Gram Panchayat will choose the members, and this will become the members of that particular block. In this Gram Panchayat, the Gram Panchayat member, the Panch and Sarpanch will choose or elect the members of block or mandal, and this becomes the members of this particular block. Let's say this is block 1 and this is block 2. Now the Jila Parishad, in Jila Parishad the members are elected. The members are elected. In Jila Parishad there are also MLAs and MPs of that area that are also the members of Jila Parishad. Now the next topic is urban local government. Urban local government constitutes towns or cities. Towns are small areas and cities are big areas. Towns have municipalities and cities have municipal corporation. The political head of municipalities is municipal chairperson, and the political head of municipal corporation is a mayor. So here I will conclude this chapter. I hope the election procedure is clear to you now, that how the Panch and Sarpanch are elected. They are elected by the adult population of Gram Sabha. How the block members are elected. They are elected by the particular Gram Panchayats that comes under that block. Gram Panchayat members elect the block members of that area. And Jila Parishad, the members are elected by the people directly, and Jila Parishad is the district parishad, which also includes MLAs and MPs as the member.